Go. 3, 2, 1, and welcome once again to Light Bearers Podcast. I did it, bro. I did it. And this is the
got it perfect this time.
Yeah, but I had to think about it a little bit. This is the 14th episode, and today, like always, we're here with Mr. K. Ola and myself, Gio, or the Jungly Beast. And today we have a special guest, and her name is Miss Diana Nishikawa. She is from Japan, as I am also in Japan. And so I'm going to introduce her a little bit. Actually, like I think a few weeks ago, or a week ago. Yeah, about a week ago, I'd say. I went to a coffee shop, an English style coffee shop, here in Japan. Not the traditional Japanese tea, but it's like with the English. Oh, man, would you like a bit of the Earl Grey? And they advertise it as an afternoon tea. So my wife was looking it up and stuff. She's like, "Hey, would you want to go there?" I'm like, "Sure, I'm always down for a spot of tea. Let's go check out the new tea house." And so I walk in, sit down with her. We're ordering some tea. I ordered me some Earl Grey.
Great.
And my wife orders some ginger tea with milk. But as I go and check out the pastries, we get up to the pastries with my wife and I. And
which one did you have?
Well, I had some chocolate, mate. I gotta have me some chocolate fudge. I rocked it. But anyway, I noticed out the corner of my eye, there's this guy that I definitely know he's not Japanese. And so when you meet a fellow foreigner here, a fellow expat, you get that little twinkle in your eye and hope that you can have a good conversation instead of being jealous or scared of each other, because we're not that many here. And he ended up being a really nice bloke from Philadelphia. And so, we talked a little tea and said, "So what you order?" I said, "Oh, I got me the Earl Grey and with some milk." And I said, "You put some milk in it?" I was like, "Yeah, I like my milk on it," And so he was sitting with her. They're friends, and they had met there to share some tea. And so we ended up standing up and talking a little bit more and exchanging information. And, we ended up noticing that all three of us, we had a very similar likings and passions, including, Rob, which is the guy, he's really into tea and whatnot. And we want to set up like an Asian tea house in Japan. Nice. And she, Miss Diana here, she's really into horse riding. So we're going to ask her about that today. She's also into the tea ceremony. She practices the tea ceremony, traditional Japanese tea ceremony. You don't just drink the tea. They're just like, I'm just kidding.
Or they do the ritual. They have rituals before they drink it.
Yeah, right? There's a special ritual. And which is quite beautiful, actually. And originally it came from China, but China abandoned it and Japan continued it and made their own, made their unique one, added something new to the tea culture, which was imported from China. And she's also into like survival skills. But what really like tripped me out, she's into traditional ancient style jujitsu.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So you want to be careful not to break her heart because she'll break your arms, bro.
Yeah, arm bars.
So anyway, so today we're gonna let Diana. So I want you to, I want to hear a little bit about how did you get exposed to horses, and at what age did you get exposed to horses, and just tell me a little bit about what it means to ride horses and what kind of riding do you do? And Kate, you can sit there and pick at her. Go ahead, Diana.
So I've been interested in horses maybe when I was a little child, but my parents didn't allow me to go to the riding school, so I have to wait until I have my own money. So maybe about 24, I began riding. And as far as I picked up the skill of cantering, I went to Australia for riding in the wild. And I met many people, riding people, and I go to their houses and share their houses and had 20 years of experience now. And I put my experiences in the Instagram these days. And I found
on
out.
Instagram?
Mm,
On Instagram? Okay.
yes, I began that experience as an album therapy to let me know how much how much blessing I had, how good these people are. And
Okay. So you go ahead.
Yeah. So what type of horse riding do you do? Is it like racing or competition or posture? You know, poses.
I do competition in dressage and show jumping. Both I like.
Show jumping. Yes, show jumping.
But you ride? Do you ride horses?
No, I don't ride myself, but I'm interested in stuff like that.
Actually, Kay, he is from Nigeria. He's from Africa, and you don't know, but Kay used to ride zebras. I was just joking.
And lions.
And lions.
And giraffes.
Yes,
giraffe.
and I'm from Colombia, so I used to ride anacondas. Anyway, so you mentioned album therapy. What do you mean by album therapy? What is this album therapy, and what is it for? Explain a little bit about that.
Oh, well, I have many experiences regarding horses in these 20 years, and I put all the horsey experiences in the Instagram. And by doing that, I find out that I'm always have friends around the horses, and they are the people. When I got depressed in about 5 years ago, the people in Australia dragged me out of Japan, saying that traveling would help me, and it's so relieving to know that there's people other than the family who can accept you. And
okay, so it's been like a therapy for you. This whole journey is so. Have you learned anything about yourself? What has it taught you about yourself?
Pardon me.
What?
So this whole journey, what have you learned about yourself?
Myself.
From your journey.
Yeah. What to say? I have enough confidence these days in myself. Maybe I can believe in people, including me, and we are all right as we are.
Yes.
Now I want to do something for them. Before me first, me. It's all about me. But now I think there's more than that.
Other people as well.
Yeah, I mean, we realize, and that's why we do this, is because this is a way to talk with each other, have genuine conversations, and help each other, even if it's with a smile or an interesting story. And horses are definitely interesting because I don't know. I think I told you, Kay, when I was a little kid. I grew up in Colombia, and the little village that I lived at was very small, between 300, 500 people. I can't quite recall, but I knew it was small because you knew everybody. And so the road didn't have any concrete. It was unpaved. So
dirt roads.
Yeah, so most people didn't drive unless they're going to leave out of the village, because within the village the road was even rockier, and I mean you had to have a Jeep to travel in on those roads. So horses were very common in that town during those years, and people would.
Don't tell me you can ride one as well.
Well, I can't say I can ride like her. She's almost like on a professional level. But I used to ride a mule.
Okay.
Which is half donkey, half horse.
That's like a donkey. Yeah,
Yeah,
like
donkey and a horse. And so I used to ride to school on the back of a mule with my grandfather. That was great. So for me, being around animals and being around nature, it's always been a very important part to me. Anytime I spend too much time in the city, I become mentally sick. So what I want to know from you, Diana, is what is it about the animals when you were a little girl and you look at the horse and you said, "Sora, uma-san ga noritai." I want to ride that horse. What attracted to you? What attracted you?
Yeah, because you said your parents told you not to. They didn't allow you to ride the horses.
Oh, it's all about the money, I think. But yeah, I like the feeling that they are so big and we are so small and very weak. They can easily get over us, but they are so strong. So strong makes them gentle, and they let us ride them. Let us control them, and I like the communication with them.
Yeah, that's interesting, man. Because as the strongest part of the human being is our brain. That's why we rock and roll. Because our body, even in the old days, when we were more with nature, we're still pretty fragile compared to a tiger, a horse. I mean, and she pointed out something really beautiful. Diana just said something really beautiful, that horses are huge, bro, and they're strong. So on your cars, it tells you how many horsepower, how much horsepower that car has. That just tells you how strong horses are, because we used to ride them for transportation. And so she said that even though they're very large, they're huge, and they can at any moment just kick the living shit out of you, trample you, but they let us ride them. What do you think that is, Kay?
She said something as well. She said they're very gentle. That's the word, gentle giants.
Gentle giants.
And I think that's a lesson we can also learn, is when you have power, your power is not for you to overwhelm people. Your power is for you to lift people up and support people. So the horse, with all its strength, it supports you and it allows you to ride it, and almost allows you to share the experience of experiencing the speed of the horse, all the things the horse experiences, you feel it when you're on top of it, don't you?
Yeah.
And they allow you to share that moment with them. It's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, so us with people, which could go to human beings too, because although they have that over us naturally, we have the power over them mentally. And it is our responsibility to also lift the rest of creation, the rest of the world, the rest of nature. It's our responsibility. Just like that horse is noble and gentle with his power, lift us up. There's a duty that we have. Duty means giri. There's a giri that we have
with our power,
with those with power, to help those that are weak. So yeah, horses. So hey, so tell us about your horse. What's your horse's name?
I don't have a horse right now. I used to have a horse, Emily. She is a German Trakehner, a very good gentle horse made for dressage. But she's getting old and she's about retiring now.
Okay, old age.
So
what about the horse that you ride at the moment? Is that a male or a female?
Most of the horses are male, but how do you say? Geldings?
They're what?
gelding.
Males.
Oh,
Okay.
they are cut off.
Oh, castrated.
They're
Neutered,
castrated.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're castrated. That's messed up, dude. That's messed up. But, that means they don't compete anymore.
So
Wait,
what was
wait a second. But because the horses that used to compete, they
Yeah.
use them afterwards to breed.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so but
That's only a very chosen few who can
yeah,
allow
okay,
who are allowed
the
to
best of the
breed.
best, the best of the best.
you know,
Mm.
so hey, I want to know the owner, you know, of that animal, so maybe I can cut their balls too. You know, because see, I had a dog, right? I had a dog, his name was Snowy. And it's a common practice that most people, you know, they neuter or castrate the males. And I refuse to castrate my goat and my dog. And they're like, oh no, you should, because that way they become gentler. I'm like, well, how about if I cut your balls?
Make you gentle.
It'll make you gentle, and maybe I can cut your breast and you'll feel gentle too.
It's not right.
Yeah, I don't know. I
But
mean, what do you think about that? Well, how do you feel about that, Diana, that they cut the balls of the horses?
No. I have never experienced of the deer male horse, but they are strong and beautiful. If I can have those skills to control them, to communicate with them, I'd rather let them as they are.
But they're a bit wild and strong. Okay, I get what she means. So they're a bit they're a bit unruly. They're a bit too wild.
Because of the testosterone. But I'm
Yes,
wondering.
testosterone. Yes.
So testosterone, Diana, is a dance hormone.
Dance hormone, yes.
Yeah. So let me check out right here. I'm going to look on the internet to see if Native Americans castrated their horses.
I doubt it. I highly doubt it.
Because they could, and they used to ride horses without saddles. They just rode them like that, no saddles, got on them, and they just grabbed them by the hair, dude. Let's go.
The beauty, I think the beauty of having a horse is learning not to control the horse here, but to allow the horse to submit to your control.
Yeah, through a bond.
That is the bond you have to have with the animal.
Yes, acceptance is very important.
Yes. Because when the animal accepts you, then it will allow you to do what you're doing. But if you're trying to force it, it's not going to work.
I mean, nobody wants to get the beat to ride. Okay, according to, it says right here, according to anthropologist Colin Taylor, eliminating the poor, the horses on the plateau. Why did Native Americans not domesticate horses? Okay. They didn't domesticate. They didn't see them as animals to domesticate. Instead, they hunted them for food and extinction. What?
Oh, wow.
Yeah, well, but later on.
I think that's derailing us a bit.
When Europeans and their horses came to North America, because, okay, horses originally were really small. Did you know that, Diana? They look like hippopotamus, dude.
Okay, they were small.
Do you know, how do you say hippopotamus in Japanese? Kaba? Saba? Kaba. Okay. And so they used to look, because, you know, hippopotamus means river horse, bro. That's the name. That's what it is. And they're the same family. So originally, actually, the horses came from the Americas, the little ones. As they evolved into what we ride now, that was in the European part. So they didn't have the horses to ride until the Europeans brought them over to the Americas. You know, and this was when, for example, Cortés and Pizarro landed in Mexico and South America. They were there way before the British made. The Spanish came here way before then. They brought those things and they were like, whoa, what is that? And after that, they just kind of spread throughout the continent.
Okay.
That's my understanding. How about you, Diana? Do you know a little bit of the history of the horse?
Oh, I saw this. It's the Mongolian horses, the little horses are
Yes,
the
that's what I heard.
origin. Hmm.
What
Yes,
happened?
Mongolia.
The Mongolians.
Yes, I heard that I heard the Mongolians were the first to like control horses.
Yeah, but the ones that brought the horses to
Originally.
to the Americas were not Mongolians, were were Spanish. The Spaniards brought the horses to America.
Mongolians are very fierce horse riders as well, aren't they? They ride them wild.
Let me double check this, because that's what I learned in a history class.
I was going to ask Diana, what was it? How was your learning experience? Was it scary when you was learning to ride horses? How many times did you fall down?
So many. But I had the confidence. I will not get hurt by falling off. I'm good at falling off.
Okay, so you don't hurt yourself when you fall off.
No. When I first went to Australia, the people let me not take the best horse, and the horse took off. And because he's the best, nobody can catch me. And we just start riding faster. So I have to decide to fall off when he is a bit slow down. I think it's better to fall off than to clinging on.
Yes. Yeah. You don't want to get dragged by the horse like this.
Yeah.
You know, with your head bouncing. Yeah, okay. I guess as I thought, in 1492 was the first time, was when Christopher Columbus landed in the Americas. And he landed in the Americas, which was the Caribbean islands, you know, in Haiti, Dominican Republic. That's where he first landed. And then when they got to the mainland in 1943, they brought horses. It was the Spanish who brought the horses from Europe. But as she's saying, the horses were first ridden in Mongolia, but they ended up spreading to Europe. And the Spaniards brought it to the Americas. And then they just kind of let them be wild. Later on, the Native Americans started, you know, riding them and stuff like that. Yes, not really domesticating them, but riding them.
Okay.
Yeah, because they didn't have time to just feed them around. They would just let them go. You know,
and probably eat them, like you said.
Yeah. Well, they eat horses in Japan.
Oh yeah.
I've eaten a horse meat. It's actually quite good. It used to be a common food back in the days. Tell them a little bit about horse meat. We got what's called sashimi, which is raw fish without rice, just the fish. That's sashimi. With the rice is the sushi. But raw horse. And when I first thought about it, it's like, oh, I'm not going to eat the horse. And I'm thinking, why not? We just ride them now. But in the West, we see horses like they're cute and stuff like that. But when I tasted the meat and you eat it raw, it's called basashi.
Okay.
It's fucking good, bro.
How about Diana? Does Diana eat horse meat?
No. But
yes, I was going to say.
You don't
It will be difficult. It will be difficult. She's got such a bond with horses. It will be difficult for her to eat them.
Yeah, I can.
You can.
Maybe I can't eat dogs, but maybe I can eat horse if somebody offers me.
It's I would have a hard time eating a dog, but
if I had a bond with an animal, I would probably have a hard time eating it. And like I know you was about to say dogs. I think that
I mean, I've eaten
man's best friend, you know.
Yeah. Oh yeah. You know, I've eaten a cat before.
Have
you know? Yeah. In a very tough situation where that's all I had to eat, and so I was like, bon appetit.
You know them huge sea snails.
Yeah.
You know the huge, massive sea snails.
Yes.
I love that, man. I love it.
Ano umi no katatsumuri?
I don't know what it's called, but
no. Well,
you see that?
Yeah.
Is that what it's called in Japanese?
You know, in Japan, a snail is katatsumuri. So the sea snails, the large ones.
Yeah, the big
they
one.
Eat them here in Japan.
In Nigeria, they eat that, and I love it.
Really? How about in Japan?
Yeah.
食べる?
Is that in the sea?
Yeah. The big snails, like large ones.
Swimming in the sea?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, they live in the ocean.
I don't know.
Yeah, I haven't seen that here, but I wouldn't doubt it because they eat fish testicles here, dude.
Yeah.
And I'm
All
not,
over the world, we eat different things. We eat all kinds of different cuisines.
yeah, I'm not down for eating private parts, bro. You know,
What did cat taste? What did cat taste like?
cat, it's not very good actually. It's okay.
Yeah, I would imagine.
But I was hungry. But okay, I've had animals before, like farm animals. And if you're going to raise animals for food, you never give names to the animals.
Is that the rule?
Well, because if you give a name to an animal, you create a bond, they create an identity. So imagine if you have a chicken and her name is Betty. You can't kill Betty. You know, you can't kill Betty, dude. She's Betty. But if it's just chicken, go kill a chicken. Don't kill Betty. You know, oh, okay, I won't kill Betty.
Yeah, it's true.
Okay, so
let's talk about the jujitsu. Her jujitsu, that's interesting as well.
Yeah. I want to know more about the martial arts that you do. So tell us a little bit. How long have you been practicing jujitsu? Why did you get into jujitsu? And what benefits have you gotten from the jujitsu? Right?
I want you. I have not much experience in jujitsu, not like you. But I came to the teacher for meditation at first. He was the yoga teacher, and I was depressed, and I think meditation would be nice for me. So I went to him and find out he teaches ancient martial arts too.
Wow.
So I'm being interested in defending myself or having the strength to be free.
Okay.
So I
Yes, to be
asked
free.
him for the art, and his way is not to be strong, but to be defensive and just defend themselves, not to attack.
Okay, so it's so I think a lot of martial arts emphasize defense, especially the classical ones, the ones where you see a lot of joint manipulation. Joint means concept and manipulation, control, joint manipulation. Um, don't mind me, I was an English teacher for 20 years with Japanese people, so sometimes I explain a little bit too much.
No, it's good. It's good.
Said to Masugi. But anyway, and they emphasize more of the defense. For example, if somebody grabs you from right here, what you're gonna do, you know. So I noticed in one of your pictures that she earned her black belt, mate.
Okay, she got a black belt.
I told you, for our way, for our style, the black belt is provided to everybody. The beginner begins with the black belt.
Oh, really?
Oh.
I didn't understand. I didn't understand that. I was like, because I never heard of that. Do you know what I mean?
So how long has she been doing it for? How long have you been doing it?
Just a bit. And the corona, because of the corona, the lessons were canceled for about 2 years now.
You know, the macaroni.
Oh,
Because
okay.
the macaroni, and I remember when I call as a nickname, I give Corona, I call it macaroni.
Yeah, macaroni.
So macaroni 19. The COVID-19, macaroni 19. So actually, and I remember around that time when it first came out towards the end of 2019, and we saw the videos of people in China, like somebody was standing and said, but it wasn't so much that, like you saw like a guy standing in the corner, right? And then suddenly he's collapsing and dying. And it looked like kind of like biohazard, dude. Which
nothing like that.
Which was lying. They were lying. They're trying to scare the hell. Of course, there was something happening, but we never heard of anybody just walking down the street and they go, and shake it, and then they come and take him with the fucking suits. Anyway, at that time, before that video came out, I was working in Sakai. Do you know Sakai? Diana, Sakaishi in Osaka.
Oh, you know?
So I used to work in Sakai at a junior high school. And my wife was living in Tsuchima. I had to get the job there for now because I had to just come back to Japan from the United States. And then I felt kind of depressed because it's a city living, bro. But there was a really, really nice park, Asahi, no, Daisen Koen. It's a really, Koen means park in Japanese. And Daisen is the name of the park, so Daisen Koen. And it's a huge, huge park where it's got two of the largest tombs, bro, in the ground to bury like emperors and stuff. It's come out in like World Heritage. It's a World Heritage point.
Okay.
And so I used to go to that park and just it was kind of like a mini jungle and stuff. But I was very stressed out in this school because it was a very, very bad school. A lot of fighting going on. The kids didn't pay attention, kicking the doors. And that's very rare. Very rare in Japan. There's stuff like that. And so I found a Brazilian jiu-jitsu dojo, and I've already trained. So I was like, yeah, I want to go to to start training. And so they gave me a free class, and I got the feeling I was okay, I'm gonna get back to practice. And then Macaroni 19 came out,
messed everything up.
No more dojo. I was like, fuck. So anyway, so you said like 2 years or something? So what is the best thing that you get from jiu-jitsu? What spiritually, physically, what do you get out of it? What benefit do you get from the jiu-jitsu class? And most important, from your instructor, from your teacher?
Well, physically, the most important part is to coordinate all of your body. Nowadays, people do the training to strengthen their muscle, but in the ancient marks, it's important to take it easy. We don't have to. In the old days, the effortlessness is more important than to be strong. We have to keep working. So the less effort you should put in.
More technique, more skill.
You move your body.
Yes. Yeah, that's a good point. You said back in the old days, we talked about this before. In the old days, there were no gyms because we're always moving, working, doing stuff. So we were just strong already. We weren't sitting having podcasts on Zoom. We're building shit and carrying
old martial arts. The old martial arts, they studied the movements of the human body and practiced the perfect movements. It wasn't about power. It was about the correct patterns and doing them over and over again to the point where your technique and your skill is good. Because skill will always beat power.
Yes. Well, that's what Helio Gracie did with the jiu-jitsu when they took the judo to Brazil. He was so skinny and he realized that it required so much power, he couldn't do it. So he started studying their movements and figuring out, well, wait a second. If you move your body right here,
exactly,
you don't need all that power. You just go like this,
yes,
like a lever. Boing.
Yes, technique always beats power, every day of the week.
Yes. So, but do you? Let me ask you: do you train? Does your husband also train the jiu-jitsu?
He was in the the fighting club in his university days, and being interested in fighting.
Oh, okay. So he's pretty strong?
No, not nearly.
I was gonna say, I want to do some sparring, some randos. I still like to wrestle a little bit and play around. You know, I mostly do. I don't train to do competition anymore, but I still like to train for self-defense.
Of course.
I think every man, definitely man, women should also too, but every man has the responsibility to train in some art to be able to protect his family and protect himself, you know, but mostly to take care of his family. And so I still train for that, you know, I'm kind of crazy because I also, my wife was tripping, but I have weapons in different parts of the houses. Hidden, because you never know. Japan is a very safe country, but sometimes they have some crazy shit happening here. It doesn't happen very often, so when it does happen, it's like movie style. Dude, heads are coming off. You know, and so I like to have.
And a man does have to be a protector.
And I like, and so like the old days, you know, you keep a weapon here, one here, and you know where they're at, and you don't tell people where they're at. Because as the feeling I have is it's my responsibility to take care of my son and take care of my wife. So if some crazy mofo comes into, mofo means motherfucker. So we say mofo, not to say the bad word. So if some crazy mofo comes in the house, you know, at least
you keep your family safe.
Well, they got a challenge. At least you can fight them, and also they can leave.
But that's also relative to what she said. Remember, she talking about the horse being powerful, but yet being gentle. So even a man being very powerful and dangerous, but only does it when it's time to protect his family, that's still a gentleman, you see? So he doesn't use his power to bully people, but when he has to protect his family, that's the only time you can see that side of him, you know? So it's all relative.
Yes,
gentle, being gentle and strong is a very good quality.
Yes, definitely. Hey, Deanna, but you know what? You said that originally, if you know, she said that her instructor, which you can tell, and it's going back to that theme of being gentle, he was her yoga instructor. And through yoga, she got into it. So you been doing yoga longer than jujitsu? How long have you been doing yoga?
Well, maybe 10 years by now. I'm not sure, but about 10 years.
Have you been to India to do some yoga?
No. I'm just learning from the Indian teachers for several years.
What style of yoga?
Oh, I learned many styles. I haven't decided upon a certain style yet.
Okay, not all the different ones.
I'm planning to go to Okinawa for the Ashtanga yoga style.
Ashtanga, yeah, that's the powerful yoga.
You know that I have no idea what you guys are saying now. I'm learning.
If you can do Ashtanga yoga, that's very athletic. You're gonna have to do all the jumping poses, all the acrobatics.
I've been interested in using my body now. I've been interested in meditation more before, but now I'm feeling like to use my body.
Yeah, get athletic, yes.
Well, I mean, it's good. It's good to do both. But did you say Ashtanga?
Yeah, Ashtanga yoga, very, very athletic, very, what's the word? Explosive.
Well, you know what's funny? You know what's funny, and this is the connection with all the languages, because I speak 4 languages, so I hear little pieces of words from other languages in different languages. And so in Spanish, tanga means thong.
Does it?
Yeah, thong is himopantsu. So in Japanese, himo means string. So G, string panties or G string. And so in Spanish, tanga means thongs. And so when I
So
heard,
you was getting the wrong idea about
yes,
this
when
yoga,
I heard
wasn't you?
Ashtanga, I was like, what's happening here? What kind of
What
yoga
is
is
going on?
that? Oh,
And I bet when I was saying it's explosive, you were thinking, yep.
yeah, it's very explosive. It's like, it would be like the Indian fundoshi. You know,
Yeah,
and fundoshi are the underwear or the jock covering that the sumo wear. That huge ass,
oh, sumo.
you know, those huge ass thong looking things they wear. That's called fundoshi.
Mm.
The underwear, they're kind of like, not the whole thing. It's just kind of like they wrap a towel. It looks like a towel wrap.
That was, yeah.
Yeah. So that's yeah. But anyway, we changed the topic here. Let's go back. Let's
I
go
know.
back. Let's go back to the yoga.
Do you
Yeah, there's different,
practice
there's
yoga
different.
asana? Okay. Do you practice yoga
Me,
asana?
Yes, okay.
do I practice? Well, not particularly yoga asana, but the type of training that I do, I get into all kinds of funny poses anyway. So you could say I do yoga, but it's not called yoga.
Oh,
If that
okay.
makes sense.
Kind of like animal movements and stuff like that.
Yeah, I do a lot of, yes,
A lot of free flow.
movements, and I just follow the body mechanics. My training is quite unique.
Yeah, Kay and I, we met on the Bull Worker Facebook page. And so we got together and then we started training together because I liked his videos. And I knew, I'm like, okay, this guy knows how to train. And then he saw my videos and go, okay, well, he knows how to train too. And we started training together. And later on, we made this podcast.
Yeah. Literally, that's how we met.
Yes.
So Diana, you say you do yoga, jujitsu, and horse riding. And when we do things so that we can find inner self and more self-mastery. So out of the three, which one do you think allowed you to learn more about your body and yourself as a person of the three arts?
I don't mean.
It's okay.
So,
from the three,
yes.
Explain, go ahead.
Okay, so from yoga, horse riding, and jujitsu, which one of them gives you the most inner peace and the most learning?
Yeah. For inner peace, yoga, meditation.
Okay. Good. And so, which now that we're talking about yoga and meditation, as Kay knows, we do the breathing exercises. And part of the breathing, man, I did an awesome breathing session today. I thought I was flying. I did it for like
gets to the brain.
25 minutes. And then when I finally went into a 5-minute meditation, I was like, dude, if I open my eyes, I'm going to fall off the clouds, because it felt like I was flying. And so that's it. I was in a very deep meditative state. And I usually, what I do in the morning is I brew a cup of tea. First, I have a cup of water. Then I brew a cup of tea and drink it slowly to relax.
What type of tea? What type of tea?
Green tea, usually a powdered tea to get the most nutrients in the morning, kind of like matcha, but I use sencha also. And then I go into my breathing and I mix both. So now that we're talking about meditation, I really want to know a little bit about, tell me a little bit about your experience with the Japanese tea ceremony and when you started doing it and why do you like doing it, and your experience with tea and how tea and meditation maybe have a connection for you. They're kind of like brothers and sisters, kyodai mitai. Go ahead.
Well, I started my way of tea about 30 years now. When I was at the university, I was in the dormitory of the Catholic people manages a dormitory, and they provide tea ceremony lessons.
You went to Catholic school?
No, my university was a Catholic one.
Okay, okay. So you were there, so you entered the Ochabukatsu, the club. They had a club.
In my dormitory, yes.
Okay.
We learned the art of art. It is called the way of tea.
The way of tea.
Mm.
And so why did you decide to get into the way of tea, or what was so interesting to you about tea?
No, it is all about, they have a very strict rituals. The
Mhm.
procedures are precisely set, but just
Okay.
practicing the same thing again and again and again, it comes into your body. It comes very naturally, and your mind is free of what to do. Your mind
Yes.
is, how do you?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it becomes second nature.
Yes. Autopilot.
Mm,
Yes, I get you.
It becomes automatic, you know?
Yes.
So the mind is free, and you can be like,
You can experience it.
mm,
You can experience it properly.
Well, without them, when you don't think about it, I think what she's trying to say, yeah, you can experience it, but there's like a tradition here, and I think that's very Zen also, is that after so much repetition of the waza, eventually what you get is called the Ju waza, which is a free form without planning. It's just a natural movement of the body.
Yes.
So
And that's the total immersion, the total experience. And then now, without the thought process, you can immerse into the activity.
yes. I think that's where the meditative part comes in.
Yes.
so it's mu. You can explain. In Japanese, we say mu,
Moo, like a cow?
like nothingness.
Ah, okay, no,
Yes, like nothingness. Yes.
no, I mean like a cow, you moo.
You become into a state of nothingness, and that's the meditative state.
Yeah, nothingness, and that could pick up anything. You are not.
Yeah.
There's nothing we can get in anything as we wish.
Yes.
You become
Yes.
you become very receptive, like Edempa.
Yes.
We call it very receptive, because your mind turns off and you open yourself to experience, and it's a
Well, if you're
natural.
pink, if you're pink and you identify yourself as pink, you can never be blue.
That's
But
right.
if you're nothing, you can be everything.
If you're
yeah,
nothing, if you're nothing, you can be a freaking rainbow, dude.
Yes.
That's a good one. That's a good one. So when is that festival? Not festival, but that thing in Okinawa. When's that yoga retreat? What date is it?
Hmm?
Itsu, nannichi kara? From what day?
Oh, maybe from 15th of March, my birthday.
It's gonna be her birthday. So hey, dude, in her honors, we got to give her a light bearer birthday song.
Birthday wish.
Here we go. Ready?
On our birthday.
Here we go. Well, let's give her an early one. 1, 2,
Okay.
3. Happy birthday to you. Ooh, happy birthday to you.
I bet she's
Happy
thinking I've never had a birthday song sang to me a month early, you know.
Happy birthday, Diana. Happy birthday to you.
And that's the day of Korah that I love of my birthday.
The day of
what?
Korah.
What's
Korah.
that?
Corral. Is that?
Corral. The day of corral.
Mm.
Okay.
A coral.
Coral.
The coral.
Like the coral reefs.
Okay.
So it's the day of coral. It's like a special holiday around here or something.
It's the same day every year.
Yeah, I never heard of it. So it's the first and again, you meet different people, you hear different stuff. Because I've been in Japan here for 20 years, mate, and I never heard of that until I met this young lady, And she was like, yes, it is the day of coral. And I was like, what?
Mm.
What? Nani?
What
Well,
is it? What is that about the coral?
yeah,
What
what
is
is
it
it
about?
about? Explain a little bit of the holiday so other people can know what is this coral holiday.
So it's just the sound of the 5th of March is Sango in Japan.
Hmm.
Sango is Japan, the coral in Japanese.
Okay.
Okay. Sango. So
Sango.
Sangatsu no Gonichi. Okay, so san is 3, and since san is the third, 3 is March is the third
March, the
month.
third month.
So each Nisan, and if you want to say March in Japanese, we say sangatsu. So you say the number ichi ni, and at the end you put gatsu for month, first month, second month, third month. So it's sangatsu and go. So san go. But if you put the word together instead of separately, like sango together, sango, that means coral.
Oh, so they've
Yeah,
made
so
that
they came
coral
up
day.
with something, you know, they just
Very
decided,
creative.
yeah, they decided to be cute.
Yeah. So it has nothing to do with the actual coral, but because of the dynamic of the words. Okay.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Shiranakata, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Well,
You learn something new every day.
yes. Oh, and look, this is what we're talking about. The bull worker.
And this is the bull.
So, yeah, and that's the bull. Yeah, she was showing me this picture about the bull, and I was like, great, I have a bull worker. You know, she's sitting on a bull there. Check it out. So, okay, so we've come to that part of the show now where we're about to finish the podcast. So, everybody, at the end of the show, we always ask the guest to give a positive message to people that are looking for inspiration, are looking for something, for hope. So, from you being from Japan and you're connecting with the world, what can you tell people, especially ladies right now, who might be facing a difficult time or challenge? The young ladies that are going through college, they leave their home and they go to university, and they have all these challenges, especially now in the world. You turn on the TV and everything is scary here, and there's a war here, and the rapist is going to kill you, and men are horrible, and tomorrow the world is going to end. What hope, what message can you give them, advice for the young ladies right now growing up in this generation?
Well, these days I heard a phrase. My friend gave me a phrase.
Okay, a phrase.
Not to grumble that the roses have thorns, but be grateful that thorns have roses. So in the difficult situations, there's always hope.
That's awesome.
That's nice.
Don't worry that the roses have thorns, but that the thorns have roses.
That's nice.
And where's that phrase come from? Who taught you that?
Oh, it's wrong.
That's really nice. I never heard that. Very simple. So ladies out there somewhere, don't worry that those roses have thorns. Actually, those thorns have roses. That's beautiful. I love it. I'm going to write that down and remember that.
Yeah, that's nice.
And so anyway, we come to that part of the show where through connections, people every day in our stories, the people we meet, we create friction. And through that friction and connection, a light shines so that we can bear it upon the world. And we say thank you to all of you. We love you. And we'll see you next time. Peace.
And yeah, it was great. It was nice having Diana on today. That was great.
Yeah, it was lovely talking to you. You're welcome. So anyway, I'll give you a call, man. I'm gonna what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna convert the file, and then I'll send it to you. Okay.
Okay.
All right, guys. See you later. Peace. Keep it jungly, guys.
Yep, keep it jungly.
I'll call you in a few minutes, mate.
Okay.
Okay.